This is TechCrunch. So, we already know that making AI work will mean bringing a lot of new data centers and power infrastructure online. But all those infrastructure projects may also need a bit of help from AI. On Thursday, a new AI compliance company called Dili that squarely targets the new crop of U.S. infrastructure projects said it had raised $15 million in Series A funding. This round comes on the heels of a $6.7 million seed round, bringing the company's total capital raised to $21.7 million. The Series A was led by Khosla Ventures with participation from Allianz, Rebel Fundbrick, and Mortar Ventures' Darren Bechtel, and Y Combinator's Garry. Dili was previously part of Y Combinator's summer 2023 batch. AI for compliance is already a pretty common pitch among startups, but Dili focuses on the unique tangle of rules concerning construction projects, particularly those getting some kind of federal funding. Asked for an example, Dili's co-founder and CEO Anand Chaturvedi pointed to Davis-Bacon rules, which allow the Department of Labor to set prevailing wages for certain projects. A separate set of prevailing wage and apprenticeship rules, or PWA rules, apply to clean energy projects funded under the IRA, with various other OSHA or EPA rules in effect depending on the nature of the work. So it's a complex set of overlapping requirements, and even small mistakes can be costly. Chaturvedi said non-compliance can result in millions of dollars of fines for those projects, so it's really powerful to be able to check all the information as it comes in, instead of just sampling data. Given those high stakes, reliability is a central concern, but Chaturvedi believes Dili's architecture will prevent any LLM-based fuzziness from sneaking into the final product. Contemporary AI models are only used in the company's data layer, the engine for taking unstructured documents and then translating them into structured data. And from there, a deterministic system sorts the data according to the complex but static compliance rules. When it works right, a task that used to take a full day's work can now be dispatched in a matter of minutes. Chaturvedi explained, imagine being able to read across the entire context of a company's internal documents, all of their vendors' documents, all of their ERP information, all of their payroll systems information, and then draw out the data that you need specifically for reporting or compliance. Dili is already making that system work in practice. Chaturvedi says the software is already being used at about 700 projects, ranging from manufacturing facilities to data centers. Notably, Chaturvedi says roughly half the projects are using Dili as an in-house software tool, while the other half outsource the entire compliance process to the company on a contractor model. Dili is able to handle both types of contract, although Chaturvedi anticipates the industry will shift more toward the software model in the years to come. He said, software and AI are going to start eating a lot of those professional services workflows, so I think more and more people will start to bring those in-house. The interesting thing will be how the market itself evolves and where the customer needs go as AI develops. Commonwealth Fusion Systems has long been the best-funded fusion power startup. Now it's extending its lead. CFS announced on Thursday that it raised $1 billion in a new round that included significant institutional investors, such as pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, and infrastructure and industrial corporate partners. When asked by TechCrunch, the company declined to name the specific investors. To date, CFS has raised $4 billion. The funding arrives as the company's spending ramps up. CFS is currently building Spark, its demonstration reactor, and finalizing the design of ARC, its first commercial power plant. The company said the new funding will go toward commercializing fusion, and CEO Bob Mumgard has hinted that CFS will continue to raise more capital. CFS has not disclosed either Spark's or ARC's price tag, though back in 2024, Virginia's former Governor Glenn Youngkin said that ARC would be a multi-billion-dollar fusion power plant. This is CFS's largest round since raising $1.8 billion in 2021. The startup's previous fundraise, announced in August, added $863 million to its coffers and included NVIDIA, Google, Khosla Ventures, and Breakthrough Energy Ventures among its investors. CFS is pursuing a form of fusion known as magnetic confinement, in which powerful magnetic fields confine plasma inside the reactor, keeping the plasma dense and hot enough to spark fusion reactions. When atomic nuclei from the fusion fuel fuse, the reaction releases enormous amounts of energy. CFS plans to harvest the heat thrown off by the reaction to power a steam turbine. The company has made significant progress on its spark reactor, which it now expects will achieve scientific break-even in 2027. Scientific break-even is a key milestone at which fusion reactions release more energy than the reactor consumes to ignite them. It's not enough to generate electricity for export to the grid, but hitting the mark will show investors that CFS's approach is likely to bear fruit. To date, only one fusion device at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory's National Ignition Facility has achieved scientific break-even. Alongside work on Spark, CFS has been finalizing the design for ARC, the commercial-scale power plant planned for Virginia. Italian energy company Eni said it will buy more than $1 billion worth of electricity from ARC, while Google has committed to buying 200 megawatts of electricity, or half of ARC's total output. That's all for now. For the latest in tech news, go to TechCrunch.com.